to understand that Jack and Margie's method, the Constitution, really, really works. And I say that not because they're amazing people that, that I've come to respect, but it's because I myself have been teaching it even in our own here, even while when I was involved with Fred. I didn't teach much of Fred's method, but I did teach a lot on the Constitution. So she was literally saved because she knew her rights, and she just basically knew her rights based on the Constitution. That helped her. Had it been that it was specifically only for the EFT, I believe she would have been in trouble. And so I thank God, for the DVD. I thank God for Jack and Margie having that website out there, that we were able to educate ourselves. We were very knowledgeable, I would say at the time, because it was like a 24-hour research that we did, and we made sure that everyone that came to this meeting knew about their right, knew what they needed to do and what they had to say had they encountered such a situation. But not all of us are, very, very fortunate on that, because as Doug has also shared, if you do not know how to speak, in court in regard to the EFT, I'm so sorry, but you would have gotten it. You would have gotten it. You would have to know. But those information is not what they're going to share. But I think also I'm a little disappointed also because Fred and Nina was never pretty honest in their workshop. I don't think even after August, even after coming out with a workshop on the presumptive, he continued to hold those workshops. And I continued to attend because I was really seeing if there was going to be anything else. But I was hoping at the same time that they would say to the people, hey, listen up, we're encountering these problems where EFT has been written. A lot of them, majority has been reversed. And I just want to be honest with you folks that, a lot of it has been reversed. A lot of these things have been reversed. We don't have an answer to it, but we are working on it. I was hoping he would go that route, but nothing was ever mentioned in regard that there was a lot of reversals here. A lot of people were, FBIs were visiting. A lot of cars were being towed. People were being foreclosed on. It would have been amazing if he really went that route, but nothing was said. And I believe a lot of, we were deceived. After leaving, I really had to reflect back and say, wow, I can't believe this. I truly believe that we were deceived. We totally were deceived. We took what he said without validating and verifying. I think that was another thing, too, where he talked a really good talk about discharging a whole lot of heaps of debts in the millions already. Well, for us at the time, it was about 75,000 or, 120. But there was no validation. He couldn't validate what he spoke. So he would say validate, verify, but he himself, of everything that he would make mention of in the workshop, there wasn't any validation to it. He didn't verify either, because when you would question about, do you have any documents, there was no documents. You easily become an enemy once you have a brain and start questioning.
Once you get a brain.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
That's
fact. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jack. Jack, did you have something to say?
I was just laughing here.
Oh, okay.
Di really nailed it. She nailed it very well. Yeah. Once one develops a brain and starts asking questions, or develops some type of common sense, Fred doesn't want to know you. He wants to get rid of you real fast.
Yeah.
And let me pick up on something that I did say. When we were invited, meaning Margie and me, when we were invited to speak in Las Vegas and then speak in Hawaii, we let Fred know and we let Nina know with no confusion at all, because we're very direct in what we say, that we do not support the EFT process and we want nothing to do with the EFT process. We follow that up by saying, if it's working for you and you're able to help other people and you've done research to verify that, then good. But we've never seen one work in the entire nation, not one. But if you've developed some other strategy, that's great. So that was our premise both in Las Vegas and in Honolulu when we spoke there. But I would say roughly 4 to 6 weeks after we returned from Hawaii, probably closer to 3 weeks after we returned from Hawaii, we started getting a massive amount of calls from people in Hawaii telling us that the EFT process did not work. And getting back to your situation, Si, you remember we had a conversation one time and you asked me what you thought you should do?
Yes.
And you did it, correct?
Yes.
And you saved your home.
Yes. If I could share that, Jack, if it's okay. I did have contacted.
Yeah, if you would, but I'm sure we have still a lot of people in line that would like to share their stories as well.
Go ahead, Jack.
Okay, she would quickly. Go ahead,
yes.
Si.
I had contacted Jack because I really wanted to know what should I do, because Fred and Nina were really silent about my mortgage and all this foreclosure noticing that we were receiving. And after numerous, email, I think, Jack realized the situation I was in, and he's like, Si, if you could bring your mortgage up to date, that would be great because, we wouldn't want anything to happen, drastic to happen to you and your family where they're probably going to have to literally kick you out, right? So after receiving that email, I realized that, okay, time to, to get back and, bring everything back into balance. And so we literally had to go out. We had to go make loans and, borrow just so that, we could bring our mortgage, back. And so that we didn't have to, worry and have to take up all that stress because we were really stressing, basically. And that's what Jack was sharing on.
Si and Thule have a large family personally, then an extended family. They could not lose their properties. It would have been absolutely devastating.
Wow.
But had they not brought their properties up to date, by now they would be out on the street, and I could not see that happen to these lovely people, so I'm glad they did that. Other people have not been as fortunate. Anyway, thank you very much, Si. We really appreciate everything you've said, and all the rest of you from Hawaii, and I hope there are more on the line. We really appreciate what you've said, and if more people come on the line, we're looking forward to hearing your stories as well.
Right, we do have more people that are waiting to tell their stories, and we want to hear them. So who wants to go next? Jump in, folks. Just jump right up if you got a story. Let's hear it.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
This is Michelle. I'm going to be brief because I don't have a lot of time. But I'm one of the people who got the title to my car that Miss was talking about. And even though I got the title and I took it to the DMV and had the lien holders taken off, it still shows that I owe that money, and they're still bothering me about it. So I expect court or something, but I know they're not finished with that, even though I did get my car. And as far as my house, I was successful in holding on to my house for 3 years, and maybe I wasn't using the right methods. I didn't know a lot about the constitutional process, but I was able to keep my house from being sold until I met Fred and Nina, and they said if I paid $1,500 to put my house in that bankrupt trust, that it wouldn't be able to be sold. So I did that, although I barely had any money at that point. I took what I had and I let them take it out of my bank account via my debit card. And within 2 weeks, my house got sold to a third party. So if I would have stayed on it myself, that wouldn't have happened. I fully believe that. Now, maybe after meeting Jack and Margie, I would have known more about how to handle it, but at that point, it was too late. So that's mostly all I have to say.
I'm very sorry to hear that. All right. Well, thank you for sharing.
Thanks for sharing, Michelle.
Yes.
Hi.
Thank you very much for sharing.
We miss you.
You're welcome. Miss you too.
Family, please give them all our best.
Love to all the kids and okay.
Thanks. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
Okay. So who else would like to step up? If you're trying to speak right now and it sounds like I can't hear you, you might be muted, so you might want to hit *6 on your phone. But yeah, let's. Who else would like to speak? It's an open forum. Go ahead. Okay, going once. Okay, anyone else want to speak? Going twice. How about I'm going to unmute some people, and if you want to speak, speak. If not, hit *6 and mute up again.
Would love to hear your stories, folks. Don't be bashful. If you've been taken to the cleaners and you want to help other people from being taken in the same way, please speak up.
Okay. A couple of people have remuted, so.
Well, I could. Right. Can you hear me?
Yes, Doug.
I mean, I could go on and on, and I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I mean, again, I watched them. I trusted them totally, and really, there was an absence for about a month, where 3 weeks where Fred actually moved his residence. Folks over here flew over there to help move. And in the meantime, we're being barraged with, where's the letter, which is what Cy was referencing. We're all told there's a letter coming, and Fred worked really hard on it, and he hates to write. He can power lift the world, but hates to write. So these letters were just monumentally torturous to him. But then, watch out, because he had developed the most powerful letter in the world. I mean, I believed him. And unfortunately, my computer DVD drive player, whatever, didn't work. So I never saw Jack and Margie's DVD. And I was taken. So when I went to that class and Fred gave that letter as his own, and then I had an inkling, I began to complain amongst the Hawaii group, like, is this real? Did Fred produce this, or did it come from the website? And, you know, and I was talking to Cy, and then I got vocal. And I said, you know, when I was in school, that's called plagiarism. And that's the best I can say, you know, because the way he goes on and on about it. And so I don't know, and it took me, I tried to parse hairs and rationalize it and say, okay, he had an earlier version that was bare bones and he beefed it up, and maybe so, but I don't think so. I saw some, you know, but in any case, he attributed it all to himself, and then he told stories about he won court cases where I heard Jack and Margie speak, and I could be mistaken, but I don't think so. Same basic set of facts, just that Fred did it in New Mexico, saving a guy with his guns and his wife. And, you know, I just felt used and abused. I guess that's the price for an education nowadays, but I don't think it has to be. So
what Doug is saying is that in our seminars, we tell quite a few episodes, in other words, stories of cases that have taken place, okay, and or actions that took place as a result of a presumptive letter. As we've said before, over the long run, over 58 years, the presumptive letter resolves about a little more than 80% of all issues. So that's 4 out of 5 cases get resolved without going to court. Then when we go to court, we win the rest. Well, we would tell some of these stories, and lo and behold, when we gave a seminar, I think it was when, in August? No, when was it? Yeah, in January. And Doug attended the seminar, Cy coordinated it, and we were telling our stories about some of the situations that